The Joe Rogan Experience.
It's woke.
Yeah.
It's just the religion. They're a part of the religion, and we really should start referring to it as a religion.
We should, but then there will be some pushback.
Church
on
of
that.
Woke.
Church of Woke.
Hey, they get tax-free status. Just show up at the Woke Cathedral.
Yeah.
And
they've got
give all your money to transgender people or whatever.
They've got their high priests, haven't they?
Yes, they do.
They've got their, their saints. They've canonized certain people. They've got all of the hallmarks.
Yeah.
But I just think I have described it in those terms, and I have done today. But to what is that really effective way to challenge it? As in, isn't that just going to get people's backs up? Isn't that going to get people a bit?
Everything you say about it will get people's backs up. But I think at least it'll make people understand that there are some fundamental patterns in human behavior that have existed from the beginning of time.
Yeah.
People like structure, and they like knowing where the rules are, because life in itself is too open-ended. There's too much existential angst. There's too many confusing questions that can't be answered. There's so much going on in life itself that if you have a very rigid ideology, whether it is about a holy creator or whether it's about the fundamental aspects of society that are unfair and need to be rallied against, whether it's woke ideology or whether it's fill in the blank, whatever other ideology.
I just wish I could talk to them more, but they refuse to talk to me. This is
well, they don't want to be. I mean, you could talk to some the same way that Megan Phelps talked to her husband online. You could talk to the ones that are thinking maybe this is bullshit, and some of them do think it's bullshit. And I know some of them that have broken free. I know some former woke people that have woken up.
But I also get a lot of messages from people saying, I really like the jokes you're telling, but I will never retweet them.
That too, yeah. They can't say it, but they also want to keep their job. They don't want anybody harassing them.
Yeah, okay.
There's a lot of that, right? There's a lot of people that just want to keep their job.
Well, maybe then when I was talking about the tipping point and when does it end, maybe it's when more people are willing to be honest about their skepticism about the whole thing. Maybe
I think that's coming. I think even though people are being very rabid, I think more people are going, what in the fuck is happening?
They are.
And it's the language policing that gets so annoying. Words are not the problem, folks. It's actual prejudice. That's the problem.
Of course.
I mean, whatever it is, we've got this issue with telling other people what to do.
Yeah.
We've got this issue with wanting people to comply with the standards of behavior that we are adhering to.
Well, that's what terrifies me about it, is the sheer certainty of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you get into a conversation, in the rare occasions where someone from the woke movement will talk to me, it's like it's never crossed their mind that they could be wrong. That it's just not in their realm of existence that they would even possibly think for a second, maybe I've got this a bit wrong. And that to me is a horrible. I don't know how you challenge that even.
But you can't. Just like you can't challenge someone who's a believer in the Westboro Baptist Church, who really does want to walk around with those "God hates fags" bumper
But they find
stickers.
their way out, don't they? Eventually,
some of them do, but not many. Megan can't even talk to her mom.
Really?
Yeah, her mom won't talk to her anymore.
They even turned on the leader, didn't they? Turned on Fred Phelps.
He died.
Oh, okay. Did they turn on him after he died? Said he was a sinner as well. I think they
that's probably why they think he died.
Is that right?
They're fucking nuts, man.
If he was truly pure, he would have.
God would have kept him alive. And he was probably thinking about homos. Who knows, man?
Right. Okay. At least they're consistent. I mean, they are
hatefully consistent.
They are hatefully consistent. But they don't twist. They are literally interpreting the Bible as it said, like in a really scary way.
Yeah, very scary way. And the fact that it justifies some pretty horrific actions. I mean, can you imagine if your son was a soldier and your son got shot down and you're at the funeral and these guys are standing in front of the building where you're having the service and they're saying the reason why your son died is because there's a bunch of people out there that are in love with other men and they're having sex with men. And so this is the reason why, and they're going to hold up these giant placards.
It's horrible.
It's fucking crazy.
That's one of the examples that really gets me, that challenges me insofar as my free speach.
Yeah, that's a problem,
position,
right?
Because there's it's so appalling and upsetting when you see that sort of thing. But then I can't say that I want to live in a society where people aren't allowed to protest, right?
It's
what do you do with that
messy.
one?
It's like everything else in human nature. It's messy, and those woke people need to understand that it's messy too.
Yeah,
life is messy. You can't get 100% compliance from people, and if you want that, you're a bully.
Yeah,
you're being mean. They're not going to do it, and you're not right. You're not right. Especially, you're definitely not right if you're not willing to debate people on these ideas.
Yeah.
You don't even know if you're right.
That's what Obama was saying, wasn't it? When he said that, people aren't perfect. Don't expect everyone to be perfect.
Yes, it was brilliant.
And then straight after he said it, there was an article in the New York Times that said basically, "What a boomer thing to say." That was what the response was. What a That's not serious. That's not a serious response to quite a nuanced point, is it?
No, I think every generation thinks they're going to be the ones that change the world.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's an issue as well. I mean, every generation that comes along thinks that they have the answers that their parents didn't have.
I see signs, though, that the younger generation, so what Generation Z or Z, you'd say, are reacting against the millennial generation, and that's probably where the hope lies, isn't it?
Yes.
Because actually the millennials are getting old now, and those ideas are getting a bit out of fashion.
And the millennials are going to have to pay their bills.
Right.
The bills are coming.
Yeah.
And when the bills are coming, they're like, fuck.
Yeah.
I got to get my shit
together. They got to earn some.
Yeah. And then they realize other people aren't working as hard. And like, hey, socialism is great, but I'd like you to work, Mike.
Yeah.
You know?
So ultimately, they'll be destroyed by the realities of a capitalist society, right?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, the realities of life are, show me a young man who is not a liberal, and I'll show you a man with no heart.
Right.
Show me an old man who's not conservative, and I'll show you a man with no brain.
Yeah.
Or Bernie Sanders. He just get stuck to his guns. A lot of people develop bills and they see that there's a lot of people that don't want to work hard, and they make excuses for things when the reality is their own behavior that's been holding them back. And there's so many realities that are uncomfortable that we have to address as we get older in life, and we realize how many people have fallen into these classical pitfalls that maybe our parents had told us about, but we thought we knew better.